Hungarian Folk Tales. Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a poor man, and he had a daughter. Next door there lived a widow who had 2 daughters. The widow wanted the man to marry her, so she sent word to him that if he married her, she would treat his daughter like her own. The poor man thought very hard for a long time and finally made up his mind to marry the widow. The stepmother always treated her stepdaughter like dirt and never went out of her way to cause her sorrow and pain. When Sunday came, the widow and her 2 daughters prepared to go to church. The stepmother said to Cinderella, "Here, while we're away at church, pick out the peas from the ashes, cook them, and serve them." The stepmother and her 2 daughters went off to church, and Cinderella was left behind. And she was about to begin to pick the peas out of the ashes when a flock of doves flew in through the window. They dropped 3 nuts and set about separating the peas from the ashes. The 3 nuts were sent by Cinderella's mother. While the doves were picking out the peas, God descended and ordered the girl to go to church, but to leave when the priest raised the sacraments. Cinderella donned the silver dress and had a look at her reflection in the well before she left. When she saw herself, she was so pleased with what she saw that she almost fell into the well. The service was attended by the prince too. As soon as he caught a glimpse of Cinderella, his heart was captured. He couldn't take his eyes off her. But when the priest raised the sacraments, Cinderella left the church. The prince followed her right away, but the girl vanished into thin air and the prince could see no trace of her anywhere. Back at home, the girl took off her dress. The food was ready because God had prepared it for her. The stepmother came home with her 2 daughters. "You'll never guess what we saw at church. There's no one as beautiful as that girl in the whole wide world." Then they told her what they had seen. "I saw it too." "How come?" "From the mulberry tree." That was all the stepmother needed. She immediately had the mulberry tree cut down. The next Sunday, she mixed the lentils into the ashes and ordered Cinderella to separate the lentils from the ashes, then to cook them and serve them. The 3 women left her alone again. Then God descended with his angels and ordered them to do Cinderella's chores. He told the girl to get ready and do the same as she had done the Sunday before. This time Cinderella donned the golden dress. As she was setting off, she looked in the well and was enchanted by what she saw there. The prince was already expecting her. When the priest raised the sacraments, Cinderella left the mass. She vanished into thin air again. When Cinderella arrived home again, all the food was ready because God had prepared it all. "You'll never believe what we saw. I saw it too, from the top of the well." The stepmother had it cut down at once. The 3rd Sunday, the stepmother mixed flour into the ashes for Cinderella to separate. It was God again that did the job for her, and Cinderella donned the diamond dress and went off to Mass. But not without looking in the well first. She couldn't believe her eyes, she was so dazzling. When the priest raised the sacraments, she got up to leave. But the prince had had the threshold of the church covered in glue, so one of her shoes got stuck. The prince picked up the shoe and set off on horseback to look for its owner. At home, the stepmother's 2 daughters were again boasting of what they had seen. Again, Cinderella told them that she had seen it from the roof of the house. Upon that, the mother had the roof of the house demolished. The prince went through the whole village. He had all the young maidens in every house try on the shoe, but it did not fit any of them. When he reached the stepmother's house, Cinderella was made to hide under the washtub while they waited for the prince. The girls tried on the shoe, but it did not fit either of them, despite their mother having carved bits off their ankles. Then all of a sudden, the cockerel began to crow in the yard. "The pretty girl is under the washtub! The pretty girl is under the washtub!" The stepmother heard this and began to chase the cockerel, but the prince heard it too. The pretty girl was indeed under the washtub. She tried on the shoe, which fitted her perfectly. Then the prince said to Cinderella, "Love of my life, I'm yours and you're mine forever and a day." This time it was the stepmother's 2 daughters who were left behind. And this is the end of my tale.